Carlos, in your 7 fights in the UFC, you finished the fight in the first round 4 times, and you get the performance bonus 3 times. How entertaining do you think you are compared to the other fighter in the light heavyweight division?
Great question, man. Yeah, very entertaining. I mean, people know. I think the fans know that every time I jump into the octagon, I'm there for business, and I'm there to make a statement. And I think if you're coming up in the rankings, um, knockouts are what the fans want to see. I think that's what the sport has been built on, is fights, knockouts, and blood. So I think everyone knows that when the black jag is in the octagon, then he's out there to kill.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, Carlos, you were once scheduled to fight Dominic Reyes, Khalil Rountree, Jamahal Hill. This fight never happened, but I think it shows that UFC is trying to put you on the spotlight because this is a title challenger and a champion level fighter. What do you think about that?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's obvious that they want to see fights. They want to see
Mm.
new challenges,
Yeah,
fresh blood, fresh meat, and that's what's exciting about the division is you've always got guys coming up, and then obviously I'm new coming up and just entered the rankings, so they want to see that. They want to see someone new who could possibly challenge. So I'm all for it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And Carlos, you only lost once in your career. It's your debut in the UFC, right?
Mhm.
What happened there?
What happened there was just 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 a new face, new different environment, different environment for
You
me.
almost won that fight.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, like, I was winning until I wasn't winning. So different environment. I was so used to kickboxing and 3 minute rounds, and this was kind of just after COVID, and then my I was kind of fresh into MMA, and when you go into MMA, it's a different ball game now. So we're thinking about a lot of things, the different strategies and techniques, and in Zichiko, he did really well to set his game plan, which I applaud him for, and he used it very well. And the thing is, I actually built off that. So I took that as a win. If I had not lost that fight, I would have thought I was invincible and thought that,
Yeah,
okay, this is
yeah,
how I could win, da da da. And it wasn't the way. And obviously, I went back, did some what do you call it, reflection, and thought, okay, if I'm gonna continue in this sport, and the UFC obviously wants me to be here, let me do this. So I started to I used that time away, which I think it was a couple months, to really focus on building my MMA IQ, building my grappling, my
yeah.
strategy, and kind of focusing more on being a better fighter and mixed martial artist.
You train at City Kickboxing with many champions,
Mm.
Israel, Alexander Volkanovski. How is
Mm.
that helping your progress as a fighter?
Oh, mindset. It all comes down to mindset. Those boys have great attitude and mindset. So and we have a big dojo, a big variety of training partners. The culture that we have and built over the years is quite strong and getting stronger. We have a lot of young guys who are coming up and getting better quickly, and I think also globally, the world is quickly developing and evolving, because the UFC and the fighters around the world are getting better pretty quickly. So I think if you look away too long, you're going to miss out on the show. So you have to keep up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Carlos, in the past you fought once in heavyweight division, if I'm not mistaken. Is that any plan like that in the UFC to go up division to heavyweight?
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure, 100%. I'm my whole goal coming into the UFC, or even far before I even started MMA, or envisioned myself being in the UFC, was, I think if I could try to get myself into a three division title, because it hasn't been done before, and there are guys out there who are looking to do that, and that's where I want to see myself doing. Heading towards. Um, it's not going to be easy, but because you see a lot of guys who are getting better and getting, they're learning quickly, and I think the rest of the world are catching up. So it's not going to be easy. It's a lot easier. Sorry, it's a lot harder to think about it now than it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, when I was thinking about, okay, I could be a three division champion. It wasn't developed around the world, but now a lot of guys are sort of flocking into the UFC, and then getting better. So yeah, it's still there. It's still there, but it just means I need to the first things first is get a title, and I think with that you hold a bit of power.
Yeah, yeah. And Carlos, of all your fights, which one you can say that this is the best performance of Carlos Ulberg?
Mm. Uh, it would have to be Jung in Sydney, the
Oh,
Korean.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
because there was a lot of injuries that I was holding at the time. There was so much that I was holding, and I got through it, 3 rounds with him, and was able to overcome the obstacle. So that, for me, I was quite happy with, and it solidified that I have the mindset to overcome anything, any obstacle that comes my way.
yeah, yeah. Maybe last question for me, Carlos. I've read that you also a part-time model. You also show in the TV show. So do you think you're good for your future if you're not fighting anymore? Maybe become an action movie star?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know how good of an actor I am, man, but but yeah, I mean, it's anything that I do, and that I pursue. I definitely I put a lot of work into it, and just a lot of hard work, and if I'm gonna do something, I do it properly. So if that's a career that could head me towards it, it's definitely been something that I've been envisioning. Um, Before I started MMA, I thought, if I could get into acting or become an action star, then possibly if I went through the UFC or becoming a great champion, then it could make it easier for me. And then also the modeling. If you're walking the catwalk and making a bit of money there, then why not, right?
Terima kasih sudah menonton. Silakan subscribe, like, dan jangan lupa komen di bawah ya bola spotter.